Good morning, folks. Can everyone hear me okay? Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you.
Fantastic. So Jen Saponis is on vacation. I think she might have mentioned that in her last email. Good morning, folks. Can everyone hear me okay? Yes. Can anyone hear me? Yes, we can hear you.
I can hear you.
Fantastic.
Oh, you just muted yourself, Jordan.
We're back. Sorry about that. There was a lag in audio here. Excellent. We're going to give everyone a moment to trickle in here. Just another moment, and then we'll begin the meeting.
I didn't know that yesterday.
Okay, we'll get started here in just a second. Let me share my screen. As I'm starting to set this up here, I wanted to take this opportunity to introduce Sandy Mizowis, who all of you have met, or at least I think all of you have met, but she is now our new executive director, and she wanted to join us this morning and say a few words.
Thanks, Jordan. So yes, I'm the new executive director here at CDTC. I know I've looking around the Zoom room here. I think I've worked with many of you for quite a number of years, but I'm looking forward to bringing CDTC into the 21st century and going beyond with our multimodal mobility planning and providing transportation options to our capital region residents, building a safer and more sustainable transportation system, and working with all of you folks at the local level and state agencies and all around the region on just creating a bigger and better, not bigger size wise, but better transportation system. So there's a lot of exciting things coming. The Transportation Improvement Program update will be starting this fall. We have new federal legislation that is coming that appears to broaden a lot of the scope of what an MPO will do and get into. So there'll be a lot of opportunity to continue to be involved here at CDTC. So just wanted to take a quick second out of your meeting to say hello. Looking forward to working with you all in my new capacity, and have a good meeting. Thanks, Jordan. And you're still muted, Jordan.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
All right.
Trying to click on a lot of buttons here. Let's see if I can do this. So then one moment while I get my slides up. Okay, I feel like this is just. Is this actually in PowerPoint view? Excellent. So we'll proceed from here. So today's August 10th Vice BPAC meeting. We've already said welcome to Sandy. Does anyone have any quick questions for Sandy before she has to hop off here? Nope. Excellent. So here's our agenda for the day, which got sent out a few days ago. These will be sent out with meeting notes presently. Moving into business, I did want to give a COVID-19 update as it feels like everything has started to reopen. CDTC staff will now be in the office 3 to 4 days per week. Effectively, there should always be someone here Monday through Thursday now. So that will make it easier for staff to be reached by the office phone. We are now at a point where we're asking all visitors and staff to wear masks in all of the common areas. I believe visitors are still required to have an appointment. And we are continuing to monitor the Delta variant of the COVID-19 virus. So we're going to see how that goes as we keep our offices open for the time being. So unfortunately, I don't have any update as to whether or not any of our future meetings will go back to being in person. But in the meantime, we'll continue with the virtual mode, which has had great attendance and has been going well. And so then next on our agenda, I get to lead a presentation today on our count program. So as many of you know, we do counts through CDTC of bicycles and pedestrians, as well as automobile traffic and other trail users, other modes of traffic. As we've done that over the years, we've traditionally done those manually. They either with some sort of manual device, a ticker, or with sheets of paper. And recently, we've begun exploring how to move that to an automated format, both for our vehicular traffic in the region and then for our bicycles and pedestrians and other forms of multimodal transportation. While exploring this, CDTC staff, Jen and I, and Andrew, our engineer, looked into different types of technology that could be used for doing this type of automated count. Traditionally, tube counters have been used. They're tubes that run across a road or across a trail. And those, while they're great for picking up vehicles and even for bicycles, they're not good for picking up pedestrians. So as technology has evolved here, we had the opportunity to look into some new concepts. In this case, we looked at EcoCounter, who provides boxes that use technology to measure people going past. EcoCounter's pyro boxes contain heat sensors, so it's an infrared technology that allows us to, any direction that a box is pointed in, it will count bicycles and pedestrians going past. We wanted to make sure while we were getting this tool that it works in all climates, including inclement weather. I was very impressed. It seems like it would survive through both a firestorm and ice event that would be utterly unprecedented for this region. They're battery operated. They go for a couple of years and then we're able to replace the batteries. It does automated and anonymous data collection. So we're fed information from the counters directly to an app. It uploads that data every so often. And then we're able to make sure that we're getting accurate data in not quite real time, but shortly after real time. And then it's fully anonymous because it's purely heat-based technology. There's no way to know who is going. There's no camera work involved with it. It does do directional counting, but it can't differentiate between trail type users. And I say trail user types in this case because that is what CDTC's plan is for the boxes at this point. We're going to use the counters on regional trails for both short and long periods of times. We want to be able to use the counters for studies and for projects. And then we are going to continue to use, where you want to use the counters to monitor activity levels before and after regional projects. So staff did testing. One of our staff, Jacob Beeman, went out as a part of one of our linkage studies, and he placed a counter on the Tedisto Trail in the village of Ballston Spa. We confirmed that the automated data transmission is working and that the data is collected properly. We got to explore some tweaks with that as well, and they were able to measure users on that trail for a couple days. So next steps going forward, I get the pleasure of seeing whether or not the boxes will work properly on sidewalks and bike lanes. As far as we can tell, they are designed for that usage. However, we have to make sure that we're only picking up people on a sidewalk or people in a bike lane. It can accidentally pick up vehicles if it's oriented incorrectly. So we want to make sure that we're choosing locations where we'll be able to get accurate counts of non-motorized users. And especially if we're going to do a sidewalk or a bike lane, we need to make sure that it will only pick up users in a bike lane or on a sidewalk. And then we're also going to continue training staff on the use of the boxes. And so then this goes into a question and answer portion or an input portion of this. CDTC is soliciting input on where should we place long-term count stations. So our current plan is to place 2 counters for up to a year on 2 different trails. And then where could we use boxes for shorter term counts? And also, are there any questions about the technology that we're using or the count program?
This is Linda. You probably should look at it the same way as you look at traffic counters for highway use. I mean, there's certain roads I think they have permanent counters on, such as like the super highways. So something like the Mohawk Trail there, that one would, or maybe even the Zim Smith Trail, because I think that's a major thing. But also, if there's a project, whether it's a highway project that has sidewalks or something, or some project that people are proposing that, you know, they want to improve or something, the bike trail, sidewalks, or whatever, maybe a short-term counts on those.
Right. And that is our plan for them. And ultimately, it then is a question of if there's anywhere else that people have in mind. So as I'm soliciting this, there are no wrong answers whatsoever. We are completely open to any and all ideas of where we can place these counters.
This is Ivan, NYBC. I suggest you also coordinate with Chris Morris at State Parks. He's their trails coordinator, and they may be doing counts or some other data collection along statewide trail systems. So perhaps it could be doubling the benefit of the effort.
Excellent.
Hey, Jordan, how quickly are you guys looking to roll this out?
So our current plan is, well, I mean, with the initial pilot, we're already rolling it out some. So our plan is to have the longer term ones in place in the coming weeks here, hopefully no more than a month. And similarly with the short term ones, those should be available in that same time frame. I don't know if we'll have them ready in time for Labor Day, but we'll see what happens from there.
We've got new signage going in on the Uncle Sam Trail, which is going to be called the Troy Rail Trail. And we'll be doing, you know, there's so little branding on there now. And then we'll be doing a bit of like I'm sure a little bit of a media push. So it'd be interesting to see trail counts before and after, you know, a trail gets infrastructure and some promotion.
And you said that's the Troy Rail Trail?
Yeah, previously known as the Uncle Sam Bike Trail.
Okay, excellent.
But that's, you know, I don't know. I don't have a hard date on the sign install, but it should be within about a month. So
Okay.
the window is fairly close.
Mhm, mhm.
Hey, Jordan, it's Jen Vigiani.
Yeah.
It'd be really interesting to put the long-term count stations where you guys have done counts before. Like, it'd be really, I don't know, wherever the last, I feel like the Mohawk Hudson Byway is probably a natural because there have been counts there previously. So to really put at the same locations where you've counted before could be that would be really nice for comparison purposes. Like 10 years ago, we had these many counts at this location, and today, we have more. So I just wanted to throw that in there. And then I know for like the green climate smart communities, when you get a trail grant through them, they want to see metrics and counts. So obviously for any project sponsors, this would be an ideal way to get some counts up if to be able to show beforehand and then after, once you've built your facility. Well, at least you're measuring more use. I'm not sure if you've been able to count less cars, but you could at least demonstrate. The potential for all of us municipalities to use this will be great. So I wish you luck in figuring out other good places for this, because it'd be great to put it everywhere. But measuring where you've measured before would be so cool. Really concretely say. And I think also where there's been this new push for Empire State Trail to measure use, where you've got that overlap of the Empire State Trail system, could be another layer.
And that is, in fact, some of our plan with this is to, we absolutely want it to be available, the counters to be available for things like grants for measuring before and after usage. That's exactly what we have in mind. And we really do want to make sure that our partners around the 4-county region here know that we have these and that these are available. And then that's a great point, the Empire State Trail for sure.
Hey, Jordan, just you may have mentioned this. What's the timing for the short-term counts?
So it will be a similar time frame for installing both. Our testing will continue at least till the end of August, our internal testing, and then ideally we want to have everything placed by or a little bit after Labor Day.
Okay, you said long-term is like up to 2 years. Short-term would be what, a month or two, or?
No, so we're sorry. Yes, you're absolutely right. I didn't clarify this. So long-term is 1 year
Okay.
placement. I think we'll probably discuss that as we put them out and as winter arrives and things like that.
Yeah.
So this is our first opportunity for winter counts. And then short-term, I think we're thinking more in the realm of a week or less in many cases.
Okay.
So the goal with that being that we're getting a more traditional count. So one that's representative, but not as comprehensive in the same way. So that matches up with the traditional vehicle counts and the traditional non-motorized counts, where you do a day or two, you try and then you extrapolate data from that.
What is the cost of the long-term and short-term counters the same, or is it the same counter? You're just
Yes,
manipulating it. Okay.
Yeah, it's the same counters. So we've purchased 3 of them, as said in the slide deck there. 2 of them would be placed for that long-term usage, and the 1 would be available for short-term counts.
Okay. How much do they cost, just roughly?
I don't know that offhand. In fact, I even want to say that it might be place to place or location to location. It's a company that asks for you to contact them for quotes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Any other location ideas for where we can place trails? Or any other questions about the technology? Excellent. In which case, I'll continue with the agenda here. And if anyone thinks of anything throughout the meeting, feel free to reach out to Either feel free to bring it up towards the end of the meeting or reach out to Jen or I via email. I think everyone on the call probably has Jen's email at this point. So let's see if I can get my slides to progress. Rima, are you on the call? Let's see. I'm going to guess that Rima is not on the call yet. She might be joining us a little later, but I'll see if she joins in at some point. Smart communities. I am not fully privy to where this has continued to, but Jen has presented on this previously. CDTC is developing a smart cities toolbox with the intent of defining smart cities. The goal is to identify underutilized and evolving technologies that can be deployed in the capital region. Anything from smart streetlights, like we saw with Saratoga Springs, to smart traffic lights, autonomous vehicle technology. And so I know the goal with that is to develop a roadmap. Last I had heard, they were developing expressions of interest and developing the request for expressions of interest, and they had received a number of applicants. I believe they probably have chosen a consultant to lead the effort at this point, and then they'll be moving forward with that study. New visions, I've paired into this the 2022 tip. So staff is currently preparing for the 2022 Transportation Improvement Program, which is a part of our implementation of New Visions 2050. This is important because this is our opportunity that comes about every couple of years to solicit for projects from around the region for everything from trails to highway improvements, transit projects. So we're expecting that this new solicitation for project funding should be available this fall. We've developed a streamlined online application, so that will be available, making it easier for our municipalities and our members to apply and propose multiple projects. That'll have probably between a month and a 2-month solicitation. And we'll ask for as we traditionally do, we'll ask for a match from our partners, and then we'll analyze all of the projects that are proposed to us, and then from there we'll continue. We'll sit down with policy board and planning committee, and the projects will be chosen for the 2022 Transportation Improvement Program. With that, we're also continuing New Visions 2050 materials. Jen is still leading the virtual training series. We've wrapped up the complete streets portions of the training so far. Municipalities and well, anyone can still request a virtual training. We highly encourage people to reach out and learn about our New Visions plan for the region. Does anyone have any quick questions about the 2022 tip or New Visions before I move forward here? I know this is a relatively short time frame for us to be soliciting for new projects, so as that's coming up in the next couple of months here, so we're certainly asking folks to be ready quite quickly for having projects ready to apply for this project funding. And hearing none, and I'll make sure that some of that material gets included in the meeting notes as well. Hearing no questions, I'll move forward. CDTC and Cdrpc's technical assistance program is still ongoing. I believe we are still soliciting for if a community is interested. We just had another community apply recently. So we're continuing to accept those and accept applications through December. Linkage program, we're still continuing with a number of projects. The Boston Spa linkage study is still ongoing. That's at the point where the draft plan is being developed. 3 new studies have had their REIs developed and are beginning to search out consultants to lead their efforts. So that includes the new East Greenbush study for Route 4, the Rensselaer Waterfront Connectivity Study, and the Federal Street Corridor Study in City of Troy. Other planning updates. I know we've previously talked about the release of the statewide trails plan. Does anyone have any capital coexist project updates? No new project updates in the past month for capital coexist? Sounds good. Any other updates, other projects that people are working on?
Ivan Vamos again, long-term issue. 787 cut off, amongst other things, a water body called the Little River, which runs into Menands. They provided several culverts instead of a bridge at that location. When those culverts have to be renewed, I strongly suggest that DOT consider putting in a precast bridge at that location to open up that water body again. It is about, it used to be an entire water loop going through Menands and back out around Schuyler Flats. But at the moment, it could get about 1.5 miles of riverway opened if it's, again, opened by a bridge rather than a culvert. A bridge would have to be provided at the trail, the bike trail along 787, when that becomes a reality. It's quite a scenic little river, and it used to be reused for regular transportation all the way back to colonial days. DEC would provide strong support because of the improved fish habitat, and it would be improved storm protection and storm surge from sea level rise that would be coming through that spot. It's again, when those culverts go, they're about 50 years old, something else should be done. I have a study on that if somebody wants to look at it.
Yeah, feel free to pass that along to Jen and I, and I'm sure we can take a look and certainly pass information along to DOT and or state parks. I'm not sure who is responsible for the maintenance of the trail there at that portion, but
it is not a trail. The trail along the waterfront is, of course, this Albany County. There is no trail along. It's just their culverts. They're probably up to their maximum use at this moment during storms. And it also will prevent 787 from washing out as I-88 did down closer to the southern tier. So it's when the culverts have to be changed, it should strongly be considered and be in DOT's long-term plans. Thank you.
yeah, thank you. Any other project updates? Val, it looks like you were unmuted there.
Well, this is Audrey Burnison sitting next to Valerie. My phone's still broken. I don't know if this was on the agenda, but I'm just gonna remind everyone that the TAP CMAC solicitation is out and pre-reviews are due on the 17th, and that'll get you 5 extra points. So if anyone plans to apply, highly recommended.
Audrey, if you missed the earlier webinars, can you set up a way to watch those afterwards and still be eligible?
Email the main office TAP CMAC mailbox. They have a way to get you set up with watching a recording.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And how long is the TAP CMAC solicitation open?
The final applications are due September 29th.
Okay, excellent. I'll make sure that that goes on the agenda for the next BPAC meeting as well then.
Yep.
Any other updates from anyone?
Yeah, I'll go quickly. The city of Troy applied for a CFA grant to connect the Riverfront Park North section up to Hoosick Street. It would be a multimodal off-street path along the riverfront there. And then Jordan, you were asking about Coexist earlier, and I know Transport Troy has moved forward and they completed a on-street parklet, so repurposing a parking space into a public space for sitting, and that was using Coexist funding that was carried over from 2020 after not spending it during the pandemic. So they're getting close to wrapping up their Coexist grant.
Awesome. Excellent. Thank you. Does anyone else have any other updates? Yep.
Hey, Jordan. The town of Clifton Park has a small capital coexist grant, and we're working with a lot of youth volunteers on a walkability subcommittee to do this project. And the nature of it is a Discover the Trails of Clifton Park, CP 35. So there's 35 locations for folks to explore and find little QR code readers where they can learn an interesting fact about the town. They can learn a little bike and pedestrian safety tip, and then also they can learn about a fun activity they can do in their visit. So that all of the locations are posted. The group's been doing some quality control, checking to see that they're still posted, and then with all the rains we've had, the signs have held up. So we're hoping to do a little more marketing of that and get the word out on that. But the students have they actually are able to do some analysis and count the kind of hits that they've had. So there has been some good participation so far. So we will keep you posted and hope to do a report, hopefully by the students this fall to the committee. So thanks for that support.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm very excited about that project. It's a really cool concept. Definitely a new concept for the region. Does anyone else have any other updates? Excellent. Well, so as I said, Rima still has not joined us. So as far as Ditch the Car campaign is going, we're still encouraging folks to sign up to post their rides, and by rides I mean any mode of transportation that is not a single occupancy vehicle, single occupancy automobile trip. And tag your photos as you're doing those, post on social media. We're still running raffle prizes for those. Rima just got in a whole slew of really awesome merch. There's a whole bike kit and a pedestrian kit, or is it a transit riders kit? So various bags, water bottles. I think there's lights and I don't want to say helmets. I know there's lights. And yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff that's available with that. Definitely encouraging folks to sign up for that and engage with that. I don't think we have anyone from CDTA on either, but I know that they've been, they're having some staff turnover right now, but they're very excitedly rolling out the scooter share here in the region. So this is our first electric scooters in the region. I just had the opportunity to, we got to ride some test ones back in the winter, I want to say. And then I just got to ride some down in New Jersey just a couple days ago. So very excited to have those here in the region. I know that they're starting out pretty small. They're doing demonstrations and dropping them in the 4 cities. And then similar to the bike share, it'll be expanding. And here's hoping that that's followed by e-bikes as a part of the bike share in the coming years here. Because that would be great for the hills up in down into the river valleys there. I think that's all of the updates that I have here from CDTC for the day. Continue to reach out to Jen and I if anyone has any ideas of where you'd like trail counters placed. We're certainly interested in identifying specific locations as much as possible. And we'll keep an ear to the ground and an eye out for various studies projects. Please definitely come to us for TAP CMAC applications if you're interested in getting a count in. We might be able to sneak a couple counts in there before those applications are due, which could be really helpful. Yeah, absolutely. And then certainly we'll keep you all updated as we decide where to place the long-term counters in particular. I have a fleeting suspicion they will end up on what I don't remember who called it here, on the trail highways of the region. So I think that probably stands to be a good jumping off point for counting users. So we'll do that, and I'll certainly keep the group updated as we identify whether or not and how the counters do with bike lanes and sidewalks. Because obviously, if we're able to put them in urban areas and where we're putting other transportation improvement program projects, that would be really transformational for us to be able to measure before and afters and usage in general, justifying that these improvements really are helping the region. So yeah, and John, it looks like you're saying something, but you're on mute. John, you're still on mute if you're saying something. No? Okay, I'm going to assume that that's a mistake then.
Right. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Nope.
Just one thing, the Albany Bicycle Coalition has updated the Capital New York bike map to include Saratoga now, points west, the Champlain Canalway Trail. So if you get an opportunity, I can send you an email of the latest screenshot that shows the before and after, how much we've gained over just since November 2016, when the map was originally rolled out, and now what we have, you know, from people's input and a lot of hard work from Glenn Sandberg, who's a core member of the Albany Bicycle Coalition. So I just wanted to bring that up. And again, if anyone recognizes that there's a trail that's not identified on this Capital New York bike map, you know, please contact either myself or Glenn Sandberg or Albany Bicycle Coalition. All right.
Excellent. Yeah, thank you all so much for your work on that. That is a really helpful map, and that's really excellent hearing that it's still expanding. Rima just joined us here. Rima, I had an opportunity to give a brief update on Ditch the Car, but I could not remember what all swag you had gotten in for the raffles.
Okay.
Provide any specific updates beyond what I was able to.
Yeah,
Absolutely, and sorry I'm in late. I'm juggling meetings today. Yeah, so we're up to about 70 participants who are doing the challenge, the Dish to the Car challenge, and we're due for our July raffle in just a couple of days. I'm gonna get that together, and I put together two swag bundles. One has a messenger bag, a safety vest, a bike bottle, a bike bell, helmet sticker, reflective helmet stickers. And the second one also includes a messenger bag, and then also an insulated lunch bag, earbuds, a power charger, and a travel mug. And we raffle off 2 of the bundles every month until into October is when the challenge ends. And you know, the winners can choose whichever bundle they want. And we've got at least one person who's done the, I set up these like Explorer badges. So each county in our region, I put together a list of infrastructure that was new or sort of lesser known, like recreational infrastructure, but also CDTA's Flex and their BRT, their new BRT line. And for each of our region, I put together one of these lists. And if you do 5 of the items on a list, you can earn one of the County Explorer badges. So I have at least one person's earned a county badge already, and then there's several people who've won like the multimodal badge. And I think we have at least one person who's gotten up to like 20 trips already. I'm not 20, sorry, that's not very many. 70, up over 70 trips for a person. So it's coming along pretty well.
Excellent. And how long is this running again for everyone?
It's going to go until October 8th.
Excellent. If I'm remembering correctly, does that correlate to bike or walk to school day? Bike to school day?
Walk to school day, yeah. So I arranged it so that we could capture that event as well.
Excellent. Well, fantastic. Well, with that really wraps up our meeting, unless anyone else has any last minute additions. The recording will be posted to YouTube as we've gone live here. Jen and I will follow up with meeting notes and any other information for these solicitations as they become available. Thank you very much to our NISDOT folks for the updates on TAP CMAQ. And yeah, certainly reach out to us for with information about the trail counter locations. Yeah, thank you all so much. Have a great day.